Cash those tickets, folks. The shirt is purple. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Early Edge. My name is Sia Nejad, otherwise known as the Counselor of Cash, and we've got a great show for you today. We've already got some people cashing tickets because there was some money leveraged on the color shirt I was going to wear today. It's a purple polo, so we can settle those bets for now. Let's take a look at, speaking of cashing bets, let's take a look at the recap screen before we bring in the stars of the show. We got a great show lined up for you, and we had a great show yesterday. We go 4-1. The only bet that lost was Proppy, who came out one out short because Charlie Morton came out way too soon. That one really should have cashed. Zach hits, I hit, Calvin hits, and the SportsLine pick, courtesy of Prop Bet Kai, that one hits as well. Certainly a good day. That's 2 winning days in a row. Let's make it 3. As Chad Anderson says, wow, I just lost $25 on the shirt wagers. Let's bring in the stars of the show. We got a lot of people here. We got a lot of sharp people, I should say. We got Buckets. We got Amags. We got Mike McClure. Buckets, you started this mess with the betting on the color shirt I'm wearing. Your response to my wardrobe?
My response is that if anybody needs a new roommate and that cannot pay rent but can pay you in soccer plays, let me know, because I put everything, Sia, on the wrong color shirt. So I'm in a bit of a pickle now, baseball term.
Did you go with blue? Like blue would have been like the
I went with red. I thought you would think it was too obvious. You'd want to mix it up and not go too crazy, but it's fine. You know, we learn.
I'll tell you what, speaking of red, we're going to have a surprise on Big Pick Energy Friday, and I think you guys are going to want to see it as it relates to wardrobes. Mike McClure, how are you doing today? We got golf coming up. I did notice, we haven't talked to you, I guess, in a couple of days with respect to some of the NBA trades. Porzingis gets traded yesterday. Any reaction to any of that, and how excited are you for the Rocket Classic?
Excited for the Rocket Classic for sure. Really, I have pretty big betting card for it, surprisingly. So I'm very excited for that. The Porzingis deal, very interesting to see the Boston Celtics kind of dump salary. We'll see if they're done or not. But yeah, always fun to watch the after the season stuff in the NBA. For me, that's as much fun, if not more fun, than the regular season itself. So fired up, ready to see what happens. I'm sure we're in for at least 1 or 2 surprises over the next 48 hours.
Yeah, we got the NBA draft tonight, I believe, right? We had that Ryan, we went 4-1 yesterday. We had that Ryan Kalkbrenner play from Mackenzie Brooks, which of course was Kalkbrenner to get drafted in the first round. So hopefully that one cashes as well tonight. Amags, how you doing? We got a nice little baseball slate. I even have a baseball play because I'm on what I like to call a mini run, which is really just 2 in a row. So modest returns here, but I guess I'm going for 3 in a row because I had another baseball play, but you certainly have baseball plays. How you doing today, man?
Yes, I do, and I'm doing well, and good to see you all. And the chat is already bumping here, talking about this early game. I have the hat on here with the Paul Skenes and Jacob Mizorowski, 2 fireball pitchers. I'm excited for it. It looks like you guys are too. But one other thing I'm excited for, I mentioned I'd bring this. This is the Aaron Judge bobblehead that I waited in line for with like 30,000 individuals in the streets of New York. It was crazy trying to get into that game, but very happy to bring this bobblehead home. I told you guys I'd have to show it off a little bit. So there you go.
Very, very good stuff as the Yankees fall late to the Reds yesterday. Sorry for bringing that up. I feel like Judge was up in a couple of crucial spots and didn't come through, if memory serves, but I don't mean to rain on the bobbleheads parade there. Let's go to some picks. Buckets, you're dropping, I don't know, you might have a baseball pick since you're dropping baseball terms. Apparently in a pickle is a baseball term, but maybe we'll just settle for soccer.
See, this is a completely unique thought from me and not from anyone in the chat. Webster's dictionary defines NFRI as Jacob Mizorowski versus Paul Skenes. So just consider that one when you're moving forward. Solid. Now we can talk about soccer. We've got MLS tonight. I think everybody is a little bit tired of this FIFA Club World Cup with so many good teams doing absolutely nothing. So I'm going to mix it up and take us to Major League Soccer, where hopefully we can find a bit more consistency. We've got a good matchup taking place this afternoon, so it also won't be 110 degrees between Sporting KC and Charlotte. And sometimes when I give my analysis, I break down all the, the nitty gritty, the little bits and pieces. But when you've got a matchup like this, all I need to do is read the recent scores between these two teams and the opponents they're playing. If you look at the last 10 games Charlotte has played, 4-2 loss, 4-1 win, 2-1 loss, 3-1 loss, 4-1 loss, 3-3 draw, 3-2 win, 4-2 loss. Both teams to score in over 2.5 is what I'm trying to get to this. These are two teams that play absolutely zero defense. Both teams to score in over 2.5 has now hit for Sporting in their last 4 matches straight, and it's hit in the last 9 out of 10 for Charlotte. This is minus 125. It's a little bit of juice, but considering I think this match is going to see a minimum of 4 goals, I've got no problem playing that juice here.
All right, we go with Sporting KC versus Charlotte. Both teams to score plus over 2.5 at minus 125. All right, we got a transition from soccer. Weird smile on Bucket's face. He seems confused. Let's go to Amags. Amags, we've got a game. You said there's an afternoon game. 2 great pitchers. First of all, tell us what time the game is, just to verify here, and what is the play? I'd love your opinion on this game as well, but first of all, let's get the play.
So we've got, a few day games here. We've got the Arizona and Chicago one that kicks us off at 2:10, but also kicking us off at 2:10 is Paul Skenes against Jacob Misiorowski. And you have these two, who were stud prospects. They've now ascended to being major league stars here. And I think, Misiorowski is a star in the making. Skenes is certainly a star already. It's going to be an exciting game here. And truthfully, I just am going to kind of ride the hot hand with Misiorowski. We get, last time out, he had a 4.5 line for hits allowed, and he gave up 1 the first start that he had in the majors. He had a 3.5 line and gave up 0. So in 11 innings so far, those 2 outings, he's given up 1 hit. And again, now we're going to be getting a 3.5 line here, but it's plus odds. I thought we'd get 4.5 potentially at like minus 150 to the under. We're getting this at plus odds here. So I think you've got to jump on the under 3.5 hits allowed for Misiorowski today. He faces a Pirates team that, it is near league worst against righties, especially since May 1st. You start to kind of look at some of these hitters in this lineup, and I think these guys are just looking to get out of there. They're hoping for the trade deadline. They're hoping that they can kind of do something here. And, Tommy Pham, it always seems like he's on a 1-year prove-it deal with all these different teams trying to play for a bad team, in the White Sox last year and then get traded away. So, once again, I just don't really love the makeup of the Pirates lineup. Not much to love there with the offense. O'Neal Cruz may be out as well today, just from some bad press, lack of hustle and all that. It's been terrible press for him lately. So I think that, this lineup is a little bit in flux. And, Misiorowski, we just got to ride the hot hand, especially at plus money here to the under. Really quick, I did want to at least mention in the first game of the day, Ketel Marte, I mentioned it. I'm going to play the over 1.5 hit run RBI too. This is not technically an official play, but if you saw, a fan was ejected for saying something about his mother last night, who has passed away back in 2017, I believe, in a car accident. He was really upset about it. He was crying on the field during the pitching change as Torey Lovello consoled him. So I'm just going to play the motivation side of things here. I think he gets back out there and absolutely crushes a baseball today. And the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is very reasonably priced. So
all right,
wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, no, I like that. That game at 2:10 as well with Zach Gallen on the mound. Hard to take Zach Gallen right now. Just everyone, he's minus 150 or worse. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, I mean, I know Skenes is on the mound, but with the issues that the Pirates are having, did you take a look at, because Misiorowski was really good his last time out. Any thoughts on Milwaukee money line here? Or are we just like, it's Skenes, we're staying away here?
I would lean, to the Milwaukee side just because of their offense. But again, their offense has to go up against Paul Skenes. And I do think at some point, Misiorowski's great, but like at some point, he's not going to have a 0 BABIP. At some point, he's going to give up some runs or hits. And, even if it's on a couple of hits, I could see, maybe a long ball or something. These major league hitters can time up a fastball at some point. So I do lean to the Brewers just because of the offense. But again, betting against Paul Skenes isn't fun either.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I'm sure the first 5 under is something super low. Buckets, go ahead.
Hey, Max, if you gave me 100 chances to hit a pitch off of Paul Skenes, 100 chances in a row with him just throwing whatever he wants to throw, what's the over-under for me getting hits in play, not fouling, but getting an in-play hit?
You're lucky you said that last piece, because if he's throwing like basketballs or beach balls at you, then yes, whatever
regular baseball pitches,
I'm sure you could probably hit some, but a baseball, and you would need way more than 100 chances, and I don't think you would even come close.
Mike, you agree? 0?
Yeah, I mean, we got to clear. We need more information here, Buckets. Number one, You're talking hit, like there's a major league defense on the field and you have to make it to first base safe? Or are we talking about you putting the ball in play up the infield with no one behind Paul Skenes? Like, what are we talking about here?
He's not even doing that.
No, okay, we'll say no defense. Contact with the ball that is a fair ball. It moves into the field of play.
I mean, I think you might get 2 of those out of 100, but it'd be like a dribbler. You might make contact.
Just bunting.
Right, but like if there's an actual defense, no. Like there's no chance you're getting a hit. 0%.
The average person catching up with a major league fastball, it's just like people don't understand. Like I was in a batting cage once and I was at like a low setting and I never played baseball, at least never batted. I played around in the field just with friends, but like I didn't appreciate even how like fast a 60, 65 mile per hour ball is going. It's absolutely good. You'd be better off just like blindfolded and somebody telling you when to swing and you might like actually make
that
contact.
might be better, Buckets. Just blindfold yourself and you're good with the dice and things that are luck based.
Well, because I recently started playing in a slow pitch softball league and I've been crushing it. So I was just trying to, check.
Seems similar to what we're talking about.
Very similar.
Real quick, before we get to some more picks, I want to ask Amags, Mike, I don't know if you saw Chase Burns yesterday, but people were asking about him. We're talking about Paul Skenes. We've got a lot of new pitchers over the last 2-3 years, Skubal and many others. Did Chase Burns look like he could be one of those guys? And Amags, I'll start with you.
He did. Full disclosure on CBS Sports HQ, I bet against him in the first 5. I backed the Yankees minus half a run. I was fortunate enough to get there. Now, when he was 6 up, 6 down with 6 Ks, did I feel good about that? No, I did not. But yeah, I think that he's clearly going to have the strikeout upside. He's going to give up the solo home run. There's no doubt that that's going to happen with his style. The thing that I will worry about with him is just the second and third trip through the order. He can get away with his electric stuff the first time he sees a team for sure. So I would be looking at him, but yeah, I think he's right there. I think he's
Max.
Kind of almost a thought on Mizorowski and why he's had so much success early is like every time these fireballers come up, it's just that team hasn't seen him yet. And it really is tough. Pitchers have that edge that hitters don't when they get brought up. So I think that is really tough. But one thing on this, he was compared to Paul Skenes, and I saw this and I love the way it was broken down. Skenes and Burns are similar in the fact that they're these fireballers. They can throw it 100 miles an hour and whatnot, but Skenes gets a lot of weak contact. And Burns, when contact's made, it's hard. So I think that in time, that may play a bigger role in him having less success than a guy like Skenes.
Okay, good stuff. We got a lot more picks to get to. I've got a first-round leader graphic if anybody's interested. If you're interested in first-round leaders, how many likes do we have? We'll put up that graphic if we get to a certain number of likes. I'll check on it. But before I do that, let's check out what BetMGM has to offer. BetMGM players will receive a no-sweat token to apply to MLB home run wagers. Just bet on a player to hit a home run today and activate the token. If your bet loses, you receive the bonus bets back. I don't know if we have the home run graphic ready yet. Sometimes SportsLine is a little late to publish it, so we'll see as this show kind of moves forward whether we have that or not. But let's get to a SportsLine pick. We're going with, looks like Calvin and Aaron are on this one. We got the Valkyrie plus 9.5 at minus 110. Of course, Calvin hit his WNBA play yesterday on the Sparks. So again, Valkyrie plus 9.5 at minus 110. And then we're going Rays money line minus 125. That one courtesy of Bruce Marshall. Rays money line minus 125. All right. We got to get to a break, Mike. We've got some golf to talk about. I've got a baseball pick as well. We've got your questions and comments in the chat. We're going to do it all right after this message from our partners. We're back on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook. Born in Vegas, I've got to catch up with the chat. I'm just not there yet, but we got to get to some more picks. Mike, I'm going to start with you post-break. We've got the Rocket Classic coming up. The Best Bets show was yesterday with me and, Eric Cohen, Patrick McDonald, and, of course, Jason Sobel. A lot of picks on there. I'll get to my first-round leaders perhaps later in the show as we're hitting like buttons. But, Mike, talk to me about, you've got a couple of plays for the Rocket Classic, so talk to me about those.
Yes, see a bigger than normal betting card for me. Let's start with a parlay. I heard the people enjoy a little make the cut parlay sometimes. I'm only going 2 legs here, though. Very conservative. 2 players I have an edge on individually, which is why I'm stacking them together in this parlay. So I like Cameron Young and Harry Hall to make the cut. You can find this -110 to -112. -112 is where I played it. I think we all have talked about Cameron Young a little bit across the early wedge shows. I encourage you to go back and watch all of them if you have not, talking about the DFS preview on Monday, the best bet show yesterday. There will be a live chat later today, but Cameron Young will be featured heavily in there, as will Harry Hall. As far as Cam Young, he had a little bit of a hiccup last week. The 6 events leading into that, loved the current form. And now Harry Hall, someone that I think profiles extremely, extremely well here. The 2 things that you need to be able to do is you got to be pretty good off the tee. And if you can putt, you're going to be in great shape. Harry Hall comes into this 3rd in total strokes gained putting. Cameron Young, number 1 in strokes gained putting over the last 24 rounds. Love these 2 gentlemen to simply make the cut. I made the price point on this all the way up to -160. So love these 2. Next, we're going to the top 20 market. My favorite player this week is going to be Ben Griffin. I like him in a lot of different markets, but where I really like him is a top 20 finish here, +115. When I talk about Ben Griffin, you have to look at the data. I think he's been the best player in this field in 2025. He's been 3rd in total strokes gained, 5th in putting, 1st in greens and regulation, checks all the proximity buckets that I care about. And I'm talking about distance buckets, not buckets who bet soccer. But I love Ben Griffin here, top 20, +115.
Yeah, Ben Griffin is one of my outrights. If you watched the Best Bets show yesterday, I've got Ben Griffin at 22 to 1 as one of my, I guess I only have 4 outrights, actually. It's Ben Griffin at 22 to 1, Cameron Young at 28 to 1, Rasmus Højgaard at 55 to 1, and Lee Hodges at 110 to 1. Relatively short card, but 2 of the favorites in there. Mike, I love all the plays. Let me ask you, in case people don't know, where can people find the Make the Cut parlay? Did you mention that?
You can find it across the board, a lot of places. I did play that one at FanDuel.
Okay, played it at FanDuel. Good stuff. All right. Let's get to my baseball pick, and then we're going to actually, you know what, since we're talking about golf, let's take a look at my first round leaders. We do have, it looks like we're close to over 100 likes. Listen, for those of you that don't bet first round leaders, that's fine. But just know that if you do bet these are sprinkle bets for me in a very big way. There's a reason why these are all like big time long shots between 66 and 110 to 1. You can put $2 on these, maybe $1, $3, whatever the case may be. These are not big bets. We're not putting units on this or even half a units or what have you. But it's Rasmus Højgaard, it's Alex Smalley, Ben On, Rico Hoey, Lee Hodges, all going out in the morning. And again, these are sprinkle bets. For the rationale behind all of these guys, tune in to the Early Wedge Best Bets show. It's in your podcast feed, or you can go to this SportsLine YouTube channel and check it out. All right, let's move. I've got a baseball play. I mean, listen, I've hit 2 in a row. I'm going for 3 in a row. Usually I have a golf play on Wednesday. I already have a golf play that I know I'm going to give out on tomorrow morning's show. It's a matchup in the afternoon. So I know I'm bringing golf tomorrow. Gave you some first round leaders. I'm going to take Matthew Boyd. I'm going to take the Cubs to bounce back. They've lost 5 out of 6, struggling a little bit, but I still really trust their bats, and I still really trust their bats when those bats get to go against Eric Fetty. Whether it's a right-hander or a left-hander, I like the Cubs, but certainly like them against righties. And Eric Fetty, he's been okay. If you look at just the basic stats, I mean, certainly the whip and the ERA, they're not very good. But if you just look at what he's done over the last 5 or 6 games, some troubling starts, some decent starts, but the expected stuff, expected batting average, expected ERA, all of that stuff, more regression is in order for Eric Fetty. And I think he's going to meet a lineup that he's not going to like very much. Matthew Boyd on the other side, he hasn't been great on the road. Cardinals pretty good at home, but I just think he's the superior pitcher, and I think the Cubs have the superior bats here. So I'm going to lay the price, -133. I don't think I got the best number by submitting this on SportsLine this morning. Probably could have got a better number last night, so I'm a little asleep at the wheel there. But I still like it at first 5, -133. I do expect the Cubs to bounce back. Again, losers of 5 of 6, but I think they're a better team than this. And I think Eric Fetty is the recipe that they're looking for. So that's my first 5 play. Let's see about, Buckets, what's going on? Why are you shaking your head?
2 things. Number 1, Sia, this is market manipulation at its finest. This is the corruption that people are always complaining about with the sports books. This is the 3rd different shirt that you have put on, so I don't know how to pay these out. Yes, you.
Huh.
Did the show open with purple? I'm not going crazy, right?
The bet was labeled as first shirt worn though, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Was it? I'm trying to cash as many tickets as possible here. I'm a man of the people. Like I'm
second shirt, third shirt worn.
I'm not sure the books had it in play that I couldn't change shirts. I mean,
if you really wanted to make people money here, Sia, and maybe this isn't appropriate for the show, if you took your shirt off right now, I'm just saying there's a lot of big tickets cashing if that happens.
Well, Friday, it is a slight wardrobe change. So I just want to throw that out there for Big Pick Energy Friday. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember changing shirts, so I don't know what to tell you. But if I did, we're cashing multiple tickets here. Let's circle back to baseball. Amags, any baseball questions for you before I go around the horn here?
So real quick, I posted a little parlay I played in the chat. It was Mizorowski 4 strikeouts, Skenes 5 strikeouts, and the Nerfy in that game for right around even money on DraftKings. The Nerfy was around minus 190 in some places, even worse. So I wanted to at least try to take a shot on that. Maybe if you wanted to, Caesars is, I think the other books too, they offer like no run, second inning, that kind of thing. Maybe play that one as well. And then secondly, last night, if you guys saw on Twitter and in the Discord, I posted it as well. Mike Trout against Garrett Crochet. We took the Aaron Judge approach and we went first plate appearance strikeout, second plate appearance strikeout. And we just kept playing that one. We cashed the first 2. The third one actually was a 3-2 count that he walked on. Very close. But tonight, I'm going to do that again with Roman Anthony, a guy that has struck out in nearly half. I think it actually might be more than half of his at-bats against lefties, but it's a bunch of strikeouts against lefties. I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me. So that was the guy I was eyeing today against Yusei Kikuchi. If Roman Anthony plays, I'm not sure if he does. We'll have to see.
All right. Jeff Stenberg has a soccer question, Buckets, but you might have seen other soccer questions. He says, do we like Carl's Gil, I assume is how you pronounce that, anytime goal scorer plus 260 in the Revs match? Any thoughts on that or any other soccer questions you saw?
A couple things. I replied to him already in the chat, Sia, saying, yes, we really do like that. So try to keep up. Second thing I will say is
changing.
If you do, yeah. How does your hair stay perfect when you do that, by the way?
I mean,
that's irrelevant.
It's a lot of practice. It's a lot of practice.
If you do want a FIFA Club World Cup bet, my favorite bet for the 4 matches today is actually both teams to score in Dortmund versus Ulsan Hyundai. Ulsan scored twice against Fluminense, which is a better defensive unit than Dortmund is. That game could get a little bit choppy. And the last thing I want to say is if you have any recommendations on how to deal with ants in your apartment, please drop them in the chat. It's getting dicey here.
First of all, close your food containers and put them away properly and clean up after yourself.
I'm not going to do that, so I need some other recommendations.
That and eating vegetables. These are prevention mechanisms I just got to throw out to you. Mike McClure, anything in the chat that you needed to respond to?
No, Aaron Bailey says he bets I'm a good bowler. That would be a fact. I bowled a lot in college. So yeah, I do like bowling. If we ever have an early edge bowling outing, we could definitely, I just think bowling is a great sport. I mean, we could bet individual throws. We could all sorts of totals,
that's
spreads. We could bet a lot if we had an early edge bowling outing.
Hey, Max,
are you a two-handed bowler or a one-handed bowler?
It's a trick question because I can bowl right and left-handed.
Of course he can.
This ambidextrous bowler.
Are you a bumpers or no bumpers bowler?
Come on.
All right. Well, that's
all right. Let's see. Let's see if there's other questions. I know we got to get to the recap screen in a second. Oh, by the way, don't forget the live chat for the Rocket Classic is today at 4:00. You can actually jump into that YouTube channel, or excuse me, that show right now. You can literally jump into the chat and start putting questions in the chat that we'll answer right when the show starts, whether it's a betting question, a DFS question, an ownership question, whatever type of question you have about the Rocket Classic, put it in that YouTube chat, the one you're in right now, and we'll just get to it. We go in order of the questions. We answer every question you got. Mariners versus Twins over 8. Amags, any thoughts on that from Ninja 13?
I think this might be the one that goes under. Honestly, it's at 8 there. Maybe I would look for if you could get like a reasonably priced 9, and then you need a 10th run to beat you. And
then David Talk says Amags Pirates game 7 under 7. What do we think about that?
Yeah, I was looking at that too. So I already talked about it a little bit in the chat here. I went first 3 innings under 1.5 runs at plus 100. And we'll see what happens from there. I'm not going to play the full game, but I do think that that would be more based upon the Brewers offense than the Pittsburgh offense.
All right. I noticed, Mike, you in the chat, you say more tennis next week. Does Wimbledon start next week?
Yes, I believe it does.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had the Wimbledon qualifiers. Yeah, more tennis next week. I was just looking at that Minnesota game, by the way. I tend to agree that this would not be the one you want to bet the over. I think there's a chance this game is postponed even. Certainly delayed. Weather issues.
Interesting.
Wind's blowing in, a little cooler today. Definitely not the same as the last two.
You are reminding me, Mike, too, that, we're in June. We're 72 days. I should have led with that. We're 72 days away from NFL season, otherwise known as Dexter Manley days away from NFL season. But, when we get to this time of year, a lot of people, and, it's fine. They're like, hey, we're just giving out baseball picks. They say the dog days of summer thing, and it's a few baseball picks. I can assure you that on this show, we're going to have this early edge show. We're going to have golf picks. We're going to have tennis picks. We're going to have WNBA picks. We're going to have soccer picks. We're going to have MLB picks. So we do like to mix it up in these, quote, dog days as we approach NFL season. We're even going to have NFL picks. Like Proppy's already brought a few futures to this very show. So just know that when you come here, it's not just going to be baseball. We are going to mix it up. And hopefully we'll have recap screens, good ones like we have had the last couple of days. Ed Too Tall days away. Yeah, Ed Too Tall Jones, says Liddy. Ed Too Tall days away from NFL season, says David Talk as well. Dexter Manley, top 5 sports name of all time. That's a game we can play. We'll do that maybe next show. Top sports names of all time. What comes to mind? God Shamgod comes to mind. I think he played at Providence, played for the Wizards for a little bit. We could literally play this game all day. Everybody buckle up. We'll do that tomorrow. All right, let's get to the recap screen before we finally get everybody out of here, as we have 27 minutes logged, and this has been a great show so far. Cubs first 5 money line -133. That's coming from me, going for 3 in a row on the first 5s. Buckets, Sporting KC versus Charlotte. Both teams to score plus over 2.5 -125. And he did give out a Club World Cup lean for you as well. Amags, Jacob Mizrowski under 3.5 hits allowed at plus 105. And then we go to Mike. Cameron Young plus Harry Hall to make the cut. Love this one at -112. And Ben Griffin top 20 plus 115. I'll note Ben Griffin top 10 is plus 350 or in that plus 320, 350 range. And I do like Ben Griffin to potentially win this tournament. Valkyrie plus 9.5 at -110. That's from Calvin Wetzel and Aaron Barzile. I think I probably messed that up. Excuse me for that, Aaron. And then we've got the Rays money line -125. That one courtesy of Bruce Marshall. I showed you our first round leaders. Do not forget, we've got a lot going on, not just on this channel, which I'm sure you're subscribed to, but also on CBS Sports Network. That includes today. I'll be hosting today, Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We're going to be covering some MLB, I believe some WNBA with Calvin. Then we're going to do some team profiles, which include the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. We're doing that for every team. We're taking that and we're putting it on YouTube for you as well, but try to catch it live. Thursday, we got a 1 o'clock show, and Friday, we've got a show at noon. Those are all on CBS Sports Network. Where can you watch that? Paramount Plus, CBSSports.com, YouTube TV, DirecTV, Hulu, and Fubo as well. That was a mouthful. What a great show. And SportsLine says that they'll post the home run model. This is courtesy of Ben. We are going to post the home run model link in the YouTube comments. So look for that. A little late today, but we will have that down there in the link. So don't worry. We'll have that there for you. Richard Pierre, I know you were asking for that among others. Did we have a good show? Did we cash some buckets? Did we cash enough tickets on the shirt stuff?
I don't know. I got to message my sports book and ask how they're going to handle this, because I was on red, which technically might have hit, but it's all gone to hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we did. We do have to read the rules and regulations of our sports book. Don't forget this show brought to you by BetMGM. I don't know how they're going to handle the shirt change, but I'll ask them directly on behalf of Buckets, on behalf of Mike McClure, Amags, and of course, Ben on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s, and all of you, Aaron Bailey, Steve Folkerts, Jeff Stenberg, Brad Morris, David Talk, Taylor Dutton, Mark Martin, everyone. Thanks for being Fantasy Life, Joe Neuenfeld, John, thanks for being in here. Tomorrow, we're 71 days away from NFL season, but we'll be talking about it all. Golf, MLB, soccer, WNBA, you name it. We've got it on the early edge. We rest our case.